Mount Thomas 203 to Mount Thomas Station. Code
5 at the Harris house, and it's pretty quiet here, boss.
Well, tell them to wind it down a bit. We've had a complaint.
Yeah, received.
Tanya!
Oh, Dash.
G'day, how are you? Very well, thank you. This is Constable Jack Lawson.
G'day.
G'day, how you doing?
Is there a problem? Yeah, someone called about the noise.
Mr. Nicholas.
The caller was anonymous.
And we have to act on it.
Understand.
We're just going to pick up Hamish's mum from work. Just get them to turn it down now, and if it gets louder again after you leave, we'll fix it when we get back, okay?
Yep, good.
Sure.
Yep. Thanks.
All right.
Have a good night,
guys.
See ya. She's nice.
Tanya, yeah, she's a Rotary scholar. She's the school captain last year, and apparently she and Hamish are quite an item.
No, I didn't mean it like
I know
that.
what you meant. Accident investigation on their way now.
You brought Hamish's mum out?
Well, I didn't really have a choice. She insisted. Have we identified witnesses yet? Just us. Everyone else is at the back. We wanted to help them, but... You okay? Jack, you all right? Jack, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah? This is your first fatal?
Yeah.
Well, they can get worse, but not much. Not much. You want to go talk to the neighbours with
Jack,
Ben?
come with me, mate. Come on.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? My sister's still in here. What are you doing helping the guy get killed?
Take it easy.
Now you tell them to get my sister out of there first.
There's nothing more that we can do for your sister.
Now he killed her! She is dead because of him!
He's alive! He's alive! All right.
Max, turn the eyes! All right, Jack, get in here.
Hey! Hey!
Take it easy, mate.
Hey! Okay, hey, let it go. What's your name? What's your name? You want to tell me what your name is? Hey, what's your name? Hey, tell me what your name is.
It's Troy.
Okay, Troy. What's your surname, Troy? What's your last name? Troy Harris. All right, Troy, listen. I know what you must be going through right now, but there's nothing more that you can do here. Now, we've got a job that we've got to do. Will you let us do that, please? Are you Miss Harris?
Yes.
All right, well, you go with your dad, all right? Your parents need a lot of support now. You go with them.
You're right, mate. You're right. Come on. Come on.
Dash, if you go to the hospital with Mr. Bennett, make sure the appropriate blood tests are done, please.
Oi! Back off, mate.
It's all right.
Back off,
It's
mate.
all right. It's all right. Can you back to the neighbours? Okay. Can we please have all the appropriate people only here? Everyone else just go back.
You all right, Doyle?
Car doesn't belong to Max Bennett.
It doesn't surprise.
I was just saying the car that Max Bennett was driving belongs to Shane Timothy Hughes.
Does that name ring a bell?
I think I'm lead.
Oh, well, if all else fails, up on the blower, eh?
Jackie, okay?
Oh, yeah. Just didn't realise that there'd be that smell.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Got to him, huh?
Yeah.
There's no answer here. There's an address. I might zip around and have a chat with you, mate. Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Can I help you?
Yeah, name's Shane Hughes. I've come to report a stolen car.
Shane Hughes, we've actually just been trying to call you. We've got some information for you. Come in.
You found it?
In a sense, yeah, mate. Just come through, will you?
He's got fractured ribs, severe concussion, and he's been sedated.
If he wakes up, just... Can you tell him we were here?
Sure. He's going to be all right.
Is he? After an accident like that? Is he ever going to be okay?
At least he's alive.
Look, he's a good driver. Something must have gone wrong.
Doesn't matter if he's a good driver. Doesn't matter if something went wrong. They'll still blame him. Tanya and Hamish, everyone thought the sun shone out of them. Max was always the one in trouble. So they'll blame him. Poor lamb.
Not if I have anything to do with it. Max and I are getting married one day, and I will fight for him every step of the way.
Mr. Hughes, when did you realise that your car had been stolen?
Oh, about half an hour ago. It was in the driveway, and I went out.
Didn't hear it being driven away?
Oh, I had the footy on loud.
Well, we've been trying to contact you because your vehicle's been involved in an accident.
What sort of accident?
Oh, the person who was driving your vehicle collided with another car.
Not the one on the radio. The one where the 2 kids were killed.
Well, you listen to the radio while you're watching the television?
For the trots, yeah.
As a matter of fact, yes, that's the accident in question.
That's terrible.
You didn't happen to lend the car to someone, did you? You see, it wasn't hot-wired, Shane's.
Oh, no, the keys would have been in the car. It was in the driveway, so you know.
Right. Do you know a bloke called Max Bennett?
Oh, vaguely, yeah. I run into him at footy club fundraisers, had a beer with him now and then. You saying he stole it?
It seems that Mr. Bennett was driving.
Bloody hell.
Hey, was he stoned? Was he drunk? Was he joyriding? Why'd he do it?
Collecting evidence, Troy. Now, please, go home. We'll contact you as soon as it's appropriate.
When it's appropriate. Sure. That's a joke. Hey, I want Max Bennett charged with murder.
Unless you have some evidence that this was a deliberate attack.
You know, going back a year or so now, he's trying to crack onto Tanya. You know, wouldn't take no for an answer, Tom. I had a word with him. Dad has a word with him. He keeps ringing. Wouldn't, you know, finally I had to get physical with him.
You assaulted him?
No, I didn't assault him, but I made my point, OK? Now there's a party. He comes driving along, Tom.
Troy, that a murder charge is most unlikely.
Well, then charge him with manslaughter.
It's probable that he'll be charged with culpable driving, but that depends on the results of his blood
driving,
test.
That's a joke. Now, you got a sister? Well, does anybody here have a sister?
Come on, Troy, calm
down. I know you got
down.
a sister, Tom. Hey, some bastard comes along, cuts her down, prime of life. What, you charge him with culpable driving?
Culpable driving is a very serious charge.
Oh, look, why don't you just slap him with a wet lettuce or something, man? You know, Max Bennett killed my sister. You know, no, he killed Hamish Scott, and he's got to pay.
He hasn't changed. He's always getting into the blues and the juniors. When that kid loses his rag, he really loses it. Lawson, come over, will you? First fatal? Yeah, well, in the bad old days, we would have taken you out and got you drunk, and that would have been your counselling. Then you would have been left to deal with it, bottle it up, and deal with your flashbacks and nightmares on your own. I mean, that traditional method's still available to you, of course, but I'd suggest that you actually have some counselling.
Oh, I don't know, boss. I'm a bit shaken up, but otherwise I'm fine. I mean, Maggie and Dash copped it sweet out there. I don't see why I can't.
You will think about it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Before I joined the job, I did a tour of duty in Vietnam. I saw people blown up by mines, that kind of thing. Well, even that didn't prepare me. My first fatal was out on the highway. One car accident. Driver fell asleep. Young couple. 2 little kiddies in the back. All dead. Well, my sergeant took me out and got me drunk and...
You bottled it all up and dealt with the flashbacks and nightmares on your own?
Yeah. Still do sometimes. We all do. You just joined the club. Look, think about the counselling. And if you need to talk, the door's always open. Yeah. Why don't you knock off for the night?
No, thanks. No, it's my shift. I'll do it.
Good night.
Yeah, but the whole reason I'm running for council is that I can't see what we're getting for our money.
Good bread and butter issue. No politician ever lost votes tapping the hip pocket nerve. But speaking as your campaign manager, I am telling you, you need something extra. Something like this. Something that's going to appeal to people's hearts and minds.
Well, what appeals to this heart and mind is good housekeeping. If I ran this pub the way they run that council, I'd be broke.
What do you want, just?
I'll just have a beer, thanks, Chris.
And I'll have a very large scotch, thank you.
What's that?
Tanya Harris and Hamish Scott killed a couple of hours ago.
Tanya? And Hamish? Oh, my God. And Hamish's mother, she's got no one now with her husband dead. Troy, I'm sorry, I just heard.
Yeah, well... Can I have a beer, thanks, and have a rum.
How are you, Mum and Dad?
How do you think? Here's to justice. Another, thanks.
Listen, if you're going to tie one on, why don't I grab your bottle and you can take it home,
Are
mate?
you going to serve me or not?
Have you seen Marlene?
Yeah? She was just round at her house. She's gone home now.
She's gone home. To what?
That's a good question, Chris. To nothing. For the rest of her life. And our legal guardians here, well, they just stand around and do nothing.
Sam, can you take over? I'm going to Marlene's.
This town needs a woman like Chris on council. All heart.
Well, accident investigation are saying that it appears that Max Bennett made no attempt to apply the brakes.
Well, no skid marks at all?
No, not one.
Well, so was he drunk?
Well, waiting for the blood test results, but I didn't smell any alcohol on him, did you?
Hey, 2 kids are dead and you're sitting around having a drink?
We've done everything that we can and we're off duty.
No, everything you can.
You hold it right there. I think you've had enough. Why don't you go home?
Now, why don't you tell me about it, Coach? You seem to be pretty good at that.
Don't you think your parents have lost enough children for one day?
Yeah, I do.
I'll get Sam to call you a cab.
All right, I'm just going to wait outside. Thanks.
Oh, Troy. I'm so sorry.
Sit down.
Thanks for this, Chris. I really appreciate it.
I'll get you a nightcap and you just let me know when you want to go upstairs, all right?
I told you. Just what this town needs.
Troy, I don't think you should be
look,
here.
I just got a couple of questions I want to ask him.
He's unconscious.
Yeah, well, I'll wake him up.
Look, Troy, I do sympathise with your loss, but this isn't the way.
Oh, well, who are you to tell me what I should and shouldn't do?
Well, you're in a distressed state of mind and it seems like you've had a bit to drink. Go home and sleep it off.
Yeah, well, I can't sleep off the waste of my sister's life. You can't protect him forever.
Troy Harris actually came around here to what? To beat a confession out of him?
Well, I guess he doesn't know how to handle what's happened.
Oh, I can't say I blame him, but look at the guy. He's half dead.
Lucky him.
You reckon?
Well, he doesn't have to deal with what he's done. Yet.
Sorry about back there. I wasn't much help.
You and me both.
You acted really cool.
Yeah, well, I've had more practice, but it was a first for me too.
Do you reckon you ever get used to it?
We'll just have to wait and see. Now, he hasn't been conscious since the accident, and if he does wake up, the medical registrar asks us not to tell him yet what happened.
So if he wakes up, it's, you've been in an accident, sir, nothing else.
Nothing else. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
See
I'll see
ya.
you later, Dash.
Yeah.
You see, once she's on council, if there's anything Chris can do to help the police, you can be...
Sonia, I don't want to disappoint you, but police are a state matter, not local government.
Yeah, but local government affect the seats of crime. The provision of youth centres...
Chris was all about lowering rates, not raising them.
Yeah, by creating efficiencies within the system.
Spoken like a true
Sonia,
politician.
it's wasted on them.
Oh, you...
Chris, you tell them.
I spent my life telling coppers things, Sonia, and look where it's got me.
Oh, it's got you all our bar trade. What more do you want?
Yeah, I should be squilly now.
Yeah, not now wages, you wouldn't be.
I've just put Marlene to bed. You know, Troy Harris is right. This is just a mess.
Which is why someone, meaning Chris, should do something.
Mrs. Bennett.
Just been to the hospital.
How is your son?
Still asleep. That nice young Constable Lawson's with him.
Mrs. Bennett, we've met, haven't we?
On occasions, a few years back, when Max kicked over the traces.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid this is a bit more serious than that.
Well, that's why I'm here, to ask how serious. I mean, what's he going to be charged
Well,
with?
we won't know until we finish our investigations. But if we're sure that it was an accident...
If it was an accident? Of course it was.
One point I would like to clear up. It's been suggested that Max was a bit keen on Tanya Harris.
That was 2 years ago. He got a bit of a crush on her, but her parents didn't approve and the whole thing fizzled out.
Well, I was led to believe that it was more than just disapproval.
Troy Harris, who's a bully and a thug, threatened to bash Max up if he ever looked at Tanya again.
So Max wasn't carrying a torch?
Never. He's engaged to be married to Roxanne Lennon. And if Troy Harris is telling you any different, then all I can say is it's typical of him.
I didn't say that Troy had made the allegation.
You didn't have to. From the sound of it, Troy's trying to turn a terrible accident into a murder plot. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't comment on that.
I was telling Tony what you were saying last night about local government and police working hand in hand to safeguard our youth.
That sounds more like you, Sonia, than me, but, you know.
Well, Chris, why don't you tell me what it was that you were saying, OK? And can you just get a bit closer together? That's, yeah, OK, that's good.
Well, the thing is, Tony, and I know the Gazette is really strong on this, but the fact remains that too many of our young people are being killed on the roads.
Yeah, can you, just put your arm around Marlene like you're comforting her?
She has been comforting me.
Which is exactly what we want the picture to say. Just a little bit closer.
That's great, thanks, that's good.
You see, there's nothing for our young people to do around here, and that's what the problem is. We need to cut spending, but we've also got to look after our kids because they're our future, and it's just a question of where we put the money.
Yeah.
Are we finished?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Mrs. Scott, thanks, that's great, thank you. OK.
Oh, Tony, there's more.
You know what? Steak knives, are they?
Lunchtime today, here in the dining room,
Yeah.
Chris has arranged a meeting of interested parties. Marlene has agreed to say something, and the Harrises too if they want to. It is a natural for the Gazette.
All right, you sold me. Be back at lunchtime, OK? I'll see you then.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tony.
Bye. Sonia, I ask myself if this is all really me, you know?
I mean, it's Chris Riley through and through. A straight shooter, direct, and a woman of the people.
What happened?
You had an accident. You're in hospital.
Mount Thomas Hospital.
Uh-huh. Do you know your name?
Max Bennett.
You got it in one, mate.
Jeez. I was driving Shane's car.
So you remember that much?
I was going to Rox's place. Oh, there was a bend.
Any idea what speed you were travelling?
Yeah, see, that's the point. I was trying to slow down. I pumped the brakes. Nothing. Straight to the floor. I tried to steer through the corner.
What?
I just felt the arse let go.
So, how long have you been driving, Max?
Since I was a kid.
Yeah, same here.
Jeez. You're a copper.
Yeah, Jack Lawson.
The new one.
Word gets round fast.
I was talking to you. I thought you was a nurse.
Sorry, mate.
Okay, so what did I do? I hit a tree or something.
Oh, he parked the car. So...
Yeah, I'll be popular with the owners.
Yeah. Hey, mate, I'm new here. What else is there to do on a Saturday night, apart from parties and that?
If you're a country boy, you should know, right? Just get pissed, check out the local talent.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Except that's not the case with me anymore, right? Not since I got with Roxanne.
Oh, yeah, I've got a girl back home. We're going to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with us. I mean, that's why I was buying Shane's car.
You're buying Shane's car?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted something, I don't know, you know, a bit more like a married bloke's car. A bit more room, a bit less grunt. So when Shane advertised his Falcon, I thought I'd take it for a spin.
Doyle and Stewart at the hospital?
Yeah, just...
Well, you were off duty. Contrary to popular belief, we don't work our members 24 hours a day.
Right, look, I had a few words with Max Bennett this morning.
And he didn't understand any of them?
Well, there seems to be more to this than meets the eye, boss.
Really?
Yeah. Look, Max is like a lot of the blokes I grew up with, you know, small-town hoons. But, like, not a bad bloke when you get to know him, not a crook. Anyway, he says that he lost the brakes going into the bend, and when he tried to steer out...
And
the
the
car just
road moved? Is that what happened?
Well, look, the main thing here is that he says he was buying the car from Shane Hughes. It was a test drive.
Well, that isn't what Shane Hughes is saying.
Well, he said it was advertised.
Did you tell Doyle and Stewart this?
Yeah. And then on the way here, I checked with the Gazette office, and sure enough, the ad was in last Saturday's paper.
Well, that's probably where he got the idea of stealing it. I mean, Max Bennett's always in trouble.
And so, Shane Hughes, he'd tell you anything.
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
I wasn't here yesterday. I was at the hospital.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll let it pass, but don't do it again. And stop hanging around like a bad smell and go and get some sleep.
That means thanks for putting us in the picture.
How am I supposed to whip him into shape if you keep translating for me? Now, I'll bring Doyle and Stewart up to speed and let them know that you'll be relieving them as soon as they've finished interviewing Max Bennett. Why are you still here?
Can I grab a lift with you, Dash?
Yeah. Go home, Jack. I'll be fine.
Well, Max needs to see a friendly face.
So, it's about the accident then?
Yes, it is.
Car's a write-off.
I'm afraid it was much worse than that, Mr. Bennett.
How do you mean?
2 people died in the accident. Tanya Harris and Hamish Scott were in a car parked outside the Harris house when your car struck it and caused it to burn. They both died in the fire.
What? They're both dead.
Yes, they are.
Oh, Jesus.
So, Max, you still maintain that you were intending to buy the car?
Maintain? How do you mean? I was buying the car. It was a test drive.
Buying the car with what, mate?
Oh, God, with money.
And where do you work, Mr. Bennett?
Around.
Around where?
Casual at the serve up on the highway. Yard work for Chris Riley at the Imperial. Winters, I split wood for Mount Thomas fuel supply.
So nothing permanent?
Don't you read the papers, mate? Permanent's hard to get.
Mr. Bennett, Mr. Hughes is claiming that you stole the car.
Look. If Shane's saying I stole the car, look, he's lying.
Do you agree that the car was advertised for sale?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, Shane, why did you not inform us of that fact yesterday?
I didn't think to.
Excuse me, you didn't think to?
I just heard the car was involved in the deaths of 2 innocent people. I didn't think the fact that it was for sale mattered all that
Is
much.
there some reason that you didn't want us to know the car was for sale?
What reason?
Do you mind just answering the question, Mr. Hughes?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I advertised it, all right. But no, I wasn't trying to hide the fact that I did.
Max Bennett said that he was test driving the car with a view to buying.
Well, then Max Bennett's a liar.
And over the years, too many people in Mount Thomas have suffered similar losses. It's as if the roads have become like monsters and they're eating up our kids. I'd now like to introduce you to Marlene Scott, who'd like to say a few words, and also the Harrises. Marlene, the floor is yours.
Until yesterday, I had a son. I had a son who was...
Now, come on, it's not the roads that are eating up our kids. It's our drivers. It's drivers like Max Bennett. Yeah. No, I think we need to make a point here.
Absolutely.
You know, we're not going to make it sitting around chewing the fat, having a yak in some pub. You know, I think we need to go down to the hospital. You know, my sister, your son, is waiting to be put into the ground, and Max Bennett's putting his feet up at the hospital. Yeah. Right. No, I'm going down there. Who's going to come?
Troy, hang on. Troy, come on. There's another way of doing this. Troy?
G'day. Brought you some vitamin C.
What are you doing here?
Oh, just visiting the patient. How you feeling, mate?
You knew this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Hi, look, I'm Roxanne Lennox. I'm Max's fiancée.
G'day, Jack Lawson. Nice to meet you.
Here's what I was telling you about. The one to listen.
Jack, I'm not staying here for a minute. I've just got something I want to deal with.
Yeah, sure.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
All right.
Justice!
You're obviously creating a disturbance, but there are a lot of very sick people inside who are trying to rest, and they do not need this.
Yeah, well, Max Bennett needs this.
All right, Mr. Harris, you and I have already been through this. Mr. Bennett.
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want
Mr. Bennett is being dealt with through the proper channels.
They're yelling out about me, aren't they?
Could be. Yeah.
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Come with me.
When do we want it?
God,
What do we want?
bit of quiet. Hey, now you're the organiser of this demonstration.
It's spontaneous.
Mr. Bennett is not the only patient.
Mr. Bennett killed my sister, and now he's going to get away with
Look,
it.
we understand how you feel.
What do we
Mr.
want?
No, listen, shush,
What do we
mate,
want?
shush. You've made your point now. We're asking you to move on, please.
Could you all just listen for a moment? Look, if there is a problem, there are better ways of going about it. Mrs. Scott, you don't want to be doing this, do you? Mrs. Harris? Mr. Harris, I understand your grief and your pain, but there are better ways of going about it, really. Please.
Troy, you coming?
Yeah, Dad,
Thank
yeah, you're very clever. Okay, I'm going. For the moment.
You're the young policeman who was here yesterday.
Jack. Jack Lawson. Mrs. Harris, have there been many accidents on that bend?
Many?
Well, accidents. We've had people losing control of their cars.
Not accidents, but since the regrading was done, you have to be a bit careful. It gets a bit tricky, especially in the wet.
Tricky how?
But I'm not sure I should be talking to you about this.
Do we know you?
It's the young constable from yesterday wanting to know if people are having trouble on the bend.
Yeah, well, don't talk to him, Mum. Look, if you're looking for excuses for what Max Bennett did, you're not going to find them here.
Wendy Harris says people have been having trouble on that bend.
So you went and interviewed her?
No, I was just having a look at it, and she came out and spoke to me, so...
Well, if there's a problem, why hasn't AIS got some data?
Well, nobody's died there before now.
AIS confirmed the brakes on Shane Hughes' car were defective.
Really? Defective? If he knew that and was trying to sell it and 2 people have been killed, bring him in for a chat.
Yeah, all right, Jack, you want to show me where you think the camera problem is,
Righto.
and then we'll pick up Hughes after that.
Okay. Well, you got your way, Lawson. Back into uniform.
I think the problem's just up here. If you come into the bend like this...
Jack, what are you doing, Jack?
Right, excellent work, mate. Thank
Mr.
you.
Hughes, is all yours.
Mr. Hughes, nice of you to attend. Come on through, sir. Benjamin.
Yeah, be with you in a sec,
You
mate.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't you dare put a stunt like that ever again.
I was just trying to see how this thing could have happened.
Well, AIS have boring little instruments to do that, so next time you leave it to them, you understand?
Yeah, sure, okay.
Lawson, why don't you go over to the hospital and relieve McKinley? Sergeant Doyle, can I have a word when you've got a moment?
Jack, at the end of the day, it was good thinking, useful information. Thanks. Still can't get used to Sergeant Doyle. Every time I hear it, I keep checking over
Don't
my
change
shoulder
the
to see my
subject.
dad's
You were
walked
giving
in.
young Lawson a bollocking and I want to know why.
It's all over now.
Not till you tell me what it was all about, it isn't. I admire your loyalty, Doyle, but you're a sergeant now and I need to know.
When we went out to get Shane Hughes, Jack thought that he'd tried his theory on the reverse camber, the hard way.
And what did you do?
I wet myself. I mean, not literally, but
And was his theory correct?
as a matter of fact, it was.
Well, let's just put it down to youthful enthusiasm, shall we?
Great minds think alike.
Do they just? Well, we'll still need to get AIS to check the road.
Yeah.
And the reverse camber might get Bennett out of trouble, but it doesn't let Shane Hughes off the hook for his unroadworthy brakes, does it?
The brakes probably got damaged in the crash.
Don't waste my time, Shane. The brakes were dodgy.
Jane, did you know about this when you put the car up for sale?
Of course not.
When was the last time you had the car serviced?
Oh, don't remember. I usually do it myself.
And what state were the brakes in when you do them yourself?
Come on, if they're not playing up, why mess around with them?
I think you're lying, Shane.
Think what you like. They were fine when I last drove her.
You look like you could do with that.
Thanks.
Hard day at the office, eh?
Hitting the booze again, are we, Sergeant?
Troy, that'll be your last.
I'm off duty, Mr. Harris.
Oh, she's off duty.
Oh, yeah, I guess that means you switch off, hey? Hey, pity I can't switch off. Pity poor old Marlene there can't switch off. Pity my parents can't switch off. But you...
Excuse me.
What are you doing driving past my parents' house this afternoon?
Well, we were doing our job, Mr. Harris. We were checking the road.
Oh. Oh, so it's the road's fault now, is it? Hey, it wasn't Max Bennett at all.
No, that's up to the coroner to decide, isn't it?
Hey, how much are you slinging you?
You've had enough.
Yeah, you're too right, I've had enough. Yeah, I've had it right up to here. And if you don't do something about it, I bloody well will.
Yes, sir, can I help you? Sir, but you can't!
Hey, Bennett!
Try!
Hey, you mother of bastard!
Try!
You might fool them, but you don't fool me! Hey! Come on, Bennett! You've got to get it settled down,
Like this. Oh, contra blow! Try! Oh!
You all right?
I'm quite soft.
Sure? Blocked! Oh my god. Baby. Oh my god, what have I done? Stay away!
Oh, God. Hey! Now,
You are under
don't move.
arrest.
Don't move her. Be really careful.
You're not obliged to say or do anything. Look away, look away. Come on.
Okay.
Sweetheart.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Where's this?
I didn't mean to do this.
Roxanne Lennon's in intensive care and Troy Harris was taken away in a police car.
Does the pain stop? There's the Harrises and Marlene Scott, now Roxanne's family, Max Bennett. They've just had enough.
Your
They've had
instincts are absolutely right, Chris. It's why I love working with you.
What?
As usual, you've put your finger on it. Everyone's hurting. And it's a whole new slant.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just picking up from where you left off. The line to push now is compassionate, honest broker. This tragedy is now on both sides. Our town is divided, and it's time that someone, meaning you, stepped in and helped in the healing process. I think it's saleable, don't you?
Saleable.
Straight through, Mr. Harris.
There you go. This way, mate.
I've just been talking to your parents. They've arranged a solicitor for you. Uncuff Mr. Harris and take him into the interview room. If only. So what are we looking at?
Jack and I both saw it, so did Mr. Bennett. It's deliberate.
So if the girl dies?
Homicide. I'm not denying what happened. I got angry. And I drove my car. And I tried to hit the man that killed my sister. And, I inadvertently, hit an innocent girl. Oh, and sitting here, I really can't believe that I did that.
PJ. Sam Lennon just died.
Right.
Mr. and Mrs. Harris.
What's the situation?
Roxanne Lennon just died.
Oh.
I'm afraid as a result, Troy will be interviewed and charged with homicide. Troy, I have to inform you that Roxanne Lennon has just died as a result of her injuries. Your parents would like a word.
My son is dead. Our only child, Chris. There'll never be another. Troy was trying to do what was right. It should have been Max Bennett.
Marlene, no, it shouldn't. Max test drove a car with faulty brakes. He drove on a road that was badly built. He will have to live with this for the rest of his life. Isn't that enough?
No, that's not enough. I'll pack my bags. I'll settle the bill.
There is no bill. You've been here as my guest.
I will settle my bill. Have it ready when I come down. Just lost a word there, did we?
Can you call Tony Timms? I want to make a statement. A lot of us here in Mount Thomas have lost sight of some very important things over the last few days. One of which is we shouldn't be taking the law into our own hands. And secondly, that sometimes accidents really do happen, that much as we want to, you can't always lay the blame at someone else's door. And if we were looking for some blame, we might be able to aim it at the atrocious state of our roads. And maybe we need to be putting more money into them.
And so, I mean, how does this fit with cutting the rates, Chris?
Lives come first, money second. If lives are at risk, we do whatever it takes.
Good. All right, thanks. I'll go be somewhere else, so I'll see you.
Bye.
Are you crazy? You just told a journalist that, politically speaking, money is unimportant. You just lost the election. See you around, Chris.
Another vote lost.
Oh, well. I'm proud of you.
You did lie to us about the car, didn't you, Shane? You knew the brakes were faulty. You knew they could go at any time, and yet you let Max Bennett drive it.
I didn't know they were that bad. A bit sus, maybe.
A bit sus? No, mate. Your mechanic told you to keep the car off the road.
Yeah, well, he's fussy. What are you going to charge me with?
Oh, we'll be presenting the facts at the coroner's inquest. And you'll probably be found to have contributed to the deaths of Tanya Harris, Hamish Scott, Roxanne Lennon.
You might not be going to jail like Troy Harris, but everyone's going to know what you've done, Shane, and you're going to have to live with that fact. This is your little moment of glory, mate. I suggest you make the most of it.
Shut the door. You've done well the last few days, showed some initiative.
Thank you.
Now, about organising this counselling for you.
Oh, I'd sooner not have it. I've thought about it, but no, it's not for me.
Why not?
I don't know. My great-grandfather went through Gallipoli. He never had any counselling.
It's because they didn't have any.
I'd feel like a big girl, boss.
Next time I want to punish you, I'll tell Doyle and McKinley you said that.
They're not big girls, they're terrifying women.
Well, if you're sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Actually, I've organised something myself.
Hey! Looking good.
Feeling good. Blows the cobwebs away.
So you all right now?
Yeah, you?
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. Chrissy, we have a motto in our family.
Vote early, vote often.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good look. All responsible council, but
I already know that I'm voting for Chris, but
I'm pleased to hear it. Come on, the polling booth closes in 10 hours.
lead on.
Oh, you might want to just close.
It's typical of you, McKinley. Here, what's that? Just right, done with these. Could I have everybody's attention for a second, please? Tony here's just brought me some very bad news. That's really bad news for all of us in Mount Thomas. The counting's just finished and, well, Chris Riley won her award by a short head.